What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am Jay. This is Jay's Life Out Loud, a channel about nothing, but it's about something. Today is one of them days where I'm just going to rant. And if you don't want to hear me rant, go ahead and go to somebody else's channel. For real. I'm just sitting. This is for my people. My black folks. It's gonna be a rant for y'all. I'm watching what's going on. These last couple of years, we watched some of the top people that we know, from R. Kelly, Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, so and so and so and so. And it seems like when one of our black heroes or black stars or, somebody that's well-renowned or famous that's black, when they fall, we tend to be the first to applaud, the loudest applaud, the longest applaud, and have the biggest laugh out of it all. Now, the three people that I named, I'm not saying that they're innocent. What I'm saying to you is, look at the circumstances. Two of the individuals, for sure, Bill Cosby and Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, were known to be either making a deal or going through something legally. Bill Cosby, they say he was trying to buy CBS. Sean Combs was suing the company that distributes De Leon tequila, which is his tequila, that was partnered up with this company. I can't think of the name right now. Now, I remember seeing him on Earn Your Leisure, and he was telling them that he was suing this company because when he went down to Mexico or wherever it is that the fields was at, that produced the guava plants that that were supposed to be used to make his tequila, he didn't see any for him or his tequila brand. It was all for other tequila brands. So he thought to himself, they trying to short me. Now I helped them build up Ciroc, and they supposed to help me do De Leon. But what they was doing was controlling what was going on. You're not gonna get as much. You're not gonna be down. You're gonna be down with us, but you're not gonna make as much as we is. We're gonna delegate what you get and how you get it and how we break it down. So anytime that you go to sue or anything like that, they know how to get rid of you. I watched Uncle Luke was talking about it, and he said, like your mama told you, he said, you never bite the hand that feeds you. And he was saying, like, they'll give you everything. They'll give you the $1 million cars, the $1 million houses on coast to coast. But the moment you step out of line, they will remind you who you are, what they think you are, and who really is in control. And Luke went on to say, like, by the time this gets to courts with Sean Combs, he's going to look like a pervert, a pedophile, all this before that lawsuit even comes about, if he's not in jail. And it leads me back to say that this is the Matrix completely. You know, I was listening and Cat Williams said something that made so much sense, that, you know, we talk about conspiracy theories and we say, well, the government is in with the internet companies. And Cat Williams was saying, no, the government is the internet. And it was given to us free so they could, you know, deal out their plan. In which their plan is to know everything. Know where you at, know what you buy, know what you like, see what you say. I'm not saying anywhere else in the world is better than the United States, which we all know it is if you're really up on it. But what I will tell you is this. So many of us as blacks are in, and I hate to, because this word is used so much, in an illusion. We are in the Matrix. We are in a make-believe world. We are in this place of magical delight where we believe that we are equal. We believe that, talking about it in America, we believe that anybody can make it and anybody could do this and anybody could do, and people have made it. But for those that have, is very few and far in between. And even then, they have shown every time, I can take you down anytime you want to. I want to. So if you come up, you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times, because it's only a matter of time before you say no to something and they take you down. It's no different than being at a job. I've seen supervisors come up. Now this is black or white. Come up from working the line to becoming a supervisor, or just coming in as a supervisor that sympathizes with the workers, and they understand what the workers are going through, and they try to look out. Because, you know, long gone are the days where you have supervisors that say, hey, I got a good crew that's with me, I'll look out for them. Okay, if you're late, come on in. Don't punch in, just come on in and I'll take care of it. Oh, you sick? Okay, well, I'll move some things around today. But when you get a supervisor like that, upper management sees it and they don't want that. They get rid of you. They bring in a supervisor that's going to do what they say when they say it. If they say jump, you're going to say how high and when can I come down. Everything is funny to us as black people. Every black person's downfall is funny to us as black people. You could take a perverted white man that's molesting 2 and 3 3-year-olds. Black person won't say a thing. They don't see it on the news like, ugh, and that's it. It'll be nothing for them to talk about. But if a black man is sleeping with a grown woman, and this grown woman does not want to give up any type of fame or money to stay in this position that she's in, or if a man is in a position and something's being wrong with him, he doesn't want to leave that position because of the money that he's getting. And I'm not saying that certain things are right, but just like if you had the opportunity to walk out of a relationship that's not doing you good, you need to walk up out of it. I'm not saying R. Kelly is right, but what I'm saying is, why didn't any of those parents get prosecuted for child neglect right along with him? Is one sin greater than the other? No. But us, we think everything is funny and not seeing the bigger picture. Whereas if back in the day when we had Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and people, they dug up things about Martin Luther King, cheating on Coretta. They bring up this, they bring up that, because they try to discredit. But back then, what they would do is they'll get to a point and they'll just kill you as a black man. Now, they don't have to kill you because they'll use the internet and let black folks do it for them. When you done, you feel like you dead. When you done, you walk out the house, they're gonna treat you like you dead. But anything can be said about us, anything can be done to us, and like a loyal dog, that's okay. That's okay. You hit me in the head with that house shoe. I still love y'all. Like a loyal dog, it's okay that you took your clothing brand and compared us to monkeys in your advertising, but we still gonna wear your clothing. We're gonna rock with you. Yep. Oh, it's okay that you took a noose and put it around the neck of that model, but it's okay. We still love you. I'm gonna be your loyal dog right here to support you, give you all my money. You can tell a black person you don't want to wear the brand that you have wasn't made for them. You didn't expect them to wear it, and if you had it your way, they wouldn't wear it. And we'll still wear it. We'll still rock it. We'll still be proud to come on TV and somebody asks you, what do you have on? And say that name of this racist company or that racist company with pride. It'll give you so much pride that it's almost sickening that we get a joy out of saying that we have a slave master's name on our body. We've traded whips. You know how you see a slave that was whipped and they had lashes on their back and they there forever. Well, we traded the marks for clothing lines. No matter what you do to us, we'll wear it forever, boss. Yes, boss. Everything that y'all do, we'll make sure that we wear it as a status that we are better because we got it on. It's all you fooling. It's tricks and mirrors. Because when you can fool a person into believing that you are not the beginning and the end of it all, and I make you think that I'm the beginning and the end of it all, I can make me a billionaire by wearing my clothes, but tell you I'm the one that controls fashion. I can get you to put on my clothes without even asking. See, this, I mean, if you really listen to it, it's so deep, because they're telling you on the one hand, we don't want your business. We don't need your business. Our clothes weren't made for you. Our shoes weren't made for you. But you are the reason, don't get me wrong, you are the reason that our sales are up 10, 15%. You do make up 30, 40% or whatever it is of our monthly income. Without you, we wouldn't be as well known. Without you, who would be at our stores when we have a sale, breaking through the doors, killing yourself? You only made $800 this week, but you about to do a charge for $2,000 for this Louis bag. You about to do a charge for $2,000 for $7,000 for these Gucci glasses. Then the trickery don't go on. Trickery goes beyond me fooling you to believe that we don't need your business, and you wearing it anyway, and then me making you believe that you have nothing to do with fashion because, you know, you didn't come to Fashion Week in New York. It had nothing to do with you. It was all us. We came up with every style, you know. But laugh at Kanye. Laugh at Kanye. He's a fool. He's crazy. Don't believe anything he says. Even if he says, if he says what he says and it's true, he's still crazy. Just like Cat Williams, he's crazy. Don't listen to that. It's convincing you the opposite. They're convincing you that up is down, down is up, and left is right, and right is left. Everything is the opposite. And we've fallen for it. And in the meanwhile, they jingle keys in front of our faces. Internet, social media, black people beefing with each other, Atlanta housewives, all this crap, jingling the keys. And with the other hand, they doing the most underhanded, dirty, unthinkable, devilish, evil, destructive things you could ever come up with, that you could never come up with, because your mind don't think like that. I was watching Black Acres of the Gambia, and they were interviewing their neighbor, and this is the neighbor's first time coming over, and the neighbor said, you know what, they wouldn't even know, they don't even know how we think. Like, they don't know how we think. They can, you know, they controlling everything, they know a lot. He said, no, because what they do to us, we would never do to them. Even after slavery, even if they done us wrong, we would never do what they did to us, to them. Because we're too kind-hearted. We're too loving. We're too forgiving. But we'll do it to each other. I'm watching a movie the other day. It was an old Western. And it had Clint Eastwood in it. And I'm watching this. And I've been thinking about this for the longest. Because I watched an interview with, wasn't Maya Angelou. It was with another famous black writer, female. And, man, her name is at the tip of my tongue. And the lady asked her, it was a white interviewer, she asked her, she said, why don't you put any white people in your books? And when she asked, the lady's name is at the tip of my tongue. It's floating around right in my membrane, but it won't come to the front. Lord, let it come to me. And you could see Tracy McMillan, I think that's her name. She looked at the lady and like, it was like a disgust, but really kind of look. And basically what she told her is, y'all ain't in enough. Y'all don't even want to take over the black books. You don't have enough heroes, enough love stories. And it led me to start looking at a lot of the movies that we grew up as part of the plot. And you say, well, what is the plot, Jay? The plot is to make you believe that in order to be a hero, you have to be a skinny white woman with powers, with the strength of 17 men. You have to be a 6-foot white man or a thin white man that can be Tarzan or the baddest cowboy on earth. All of our heroes growing up were white. I grew up, I'll be 50 next year. When I grew up, we had Greatest American Hero was another one. I mean, he was a goofy hero, but he was a hero. Every show that I watched, the smartest people, MacGyver, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of these characters have shaped the form of who's the strongest, who's the hero, who's gonna come save the day, who are you gonna depend on? Everybody was white. And they say, well, you got Black Panther. No, that's what, one? And he lived in a special place, Wakanda. Superman was around the world. Wonder Woman was around the world. With beauty. A lot of us at a young age were indoctrinated that white, blue eyes, blonde hair was the beauty standard. I wonder if that's the case of why so many black women wear weave. Why somebody my color a woman my color would want to walk around with blonde hair past her ankles. Then I say again, how we hate, it's like we hate each other. We hate our blackness amongst each other, but then celebrate our blackness on the internet and social media. Defend our blackness when you call out your name or someone leaves a racist comment up under a photograph or a video of us. But then when we get around each other at a party, not all of us, because most of us want to come and have a good time. We either want to scratch that girl's eyes out for some petty shit you could let go, or we want to shoot this man because he stepped on your shoe or looked at you too long. Then we have to really check ourselves, black men. Black men, when another black man does something to you that you feel is wrong or disrespectful, how fast do you jump from, I want to fight him, or I'm arguing with him, from arguing to I want to kill him, to let me get my pistol, let me shoot this guy. And I ain't going to use the word I want to use. versus we get out at the mall, or we in the suburbs, or we get into a white person, do you have the same anger and conviction that you have to your brother when you in the neighborhood, or you just dealing with each other, period? We're not going to talk about racism that we all receive versus the racism that we do amongst each other. We're not even going to get into the light skin, dark skin thing. We're not even going to get into if a white man was running down the street full speed and you walking, you would think he out for a jog. But if a black man is running doing the same thing, you're going to either cross the street, have your hand on your gun, or you're going to be ready to fight, or you're going to run. Then you have to ask yourself, are you racist against your own people? Do you hate your own people? I say most of us are scared of our own youth. I say for good reason. Bro, you already had the stop sign. But when I talk about moving to Africa, and when I talk to brothers about let's get together and put something, do something, let's do this. No. Are you crazy? Who want to move to Africa? You going to be with the flies and the babies with the big stomachs, and you going to do this and that, da. It gets so bad that you'll have people, I ain't from Africa. Don't none of my roots go back to Africa. My people was already here in the United States when such and such, such and such. And it's so weird to me that we find all types of ways to hate each other or hate on each other. For those of you that watch the channel, y'all know I talk about Africa day in and day out. Then I watch some of these YouTubers, and the YouTubers are talking about how African Americans are coming over to Africa and beefing with each other. As if you couldn't leave that colonized attitude where you came from. If you're going over there for peace, why are you bringing that? Then you go over to somebody, okay, we were stolen years ago from the motherland. Hey, I believe we should be welcomed with open arms, but at the same time, go over there with respect, because you are entering a place where you are not known. Well, some will recognize what you went through and welcome you home. Some won't. They will say you are a foreigner. They will call you a white man. They will look at you no different than anybody else coming to their country, because it's their country. It's their continent. Whatever country they're in Africa, if they Ghanaian, if they whatever. But then you'll dog them out for the way that they live. They didn't ask you to come there. Go back to where you got a problem with it. Go back to where you came from then. Go on over there and get brutalized by the police. Go on and be nervous every time you go into the suburbs and go to a restaurant and they're going to spit in your food. Go on and ride past certain restaurants because it looks too country to you, and you ain't about to go in there and get nobody spitting in your food or putting something in your food to make you sick. Or white people just staring at you that you just came in there. Go on into the Chinese places here in America and watch them follow you around in the hairdresser, meaning the hair shops, hair supply place. Go on and get racial profile going into a all white neighborhood, and the police stop you and ask you, why are you over here? Go ahead and go fishing with your fishing license and get bothered by the police because you black. We have no idea of all the plans that they have been working on for years. We have no idea of all the plans that they're putting in place right now. Then I'm trying to think, when was the last time that I heard somebody running for president say just out loud in a commercial that's running all over the place? I've seen it on YouTube a couple of times. Just come out and say, Biden is saying, black people, under my administration, you got this and you got, what we get? Scraps? Black people, you got this under Trump. Black, man, we have known for years, unless you a fool, that nobody gives a damn about us. I don't care what president it is. They don't care. Most of us don't care about us. And that's proven on how you do your neighborhood. The same streets you ride up and now every day, you throw beer bottles out the window. You throw trash out the window. You have a meal for 17 people wrapped up in one bag from McDonald's and throw it out the window. And just keep on riding. Trash all over the place. Just keep riding, but that's your neighborhood. That's what you proud of. That's what you claiming. Then you'll come up the block. Kids outside, fly through the stop sign. You'll come up the block. I love the city. I'm from Detroit. You'll come up the block, do 17 donuts in the middle of the street at 2 o'clock in the morning. Go across, go into the suburbs where the white folks at, and drive like the first day of driver's training. I'm at the stop sign. STOP. Okay, I can go. Okay, I'm going to pull up right here. I'm going to stop before I get to the line. My seatbelt is on. My music is down. As soon as you cross back in the hood. Throwing trash out the window. I am really disgusted at us. You watching black star after black star, beefing here, beefing there. Got shows like Atlanta Housewives, just as, for some people to sit up, cross their legs, and act so ladylike and so sophisticated, and that, man. We all, as black people, are held accountable. Every last one of us. Every rap star is held accountable. Every singer is held accountable. Every senator. If you black and you out here, you alive, you are held accountable. Except the babies. Our elderly, you are held accountable. The world is so topsy-turvy. The internet, and don't get me wrong, the internet can be used for so many good things. And it's still being used for good things. I mean, from charities to just, somebody put up a scripture that could make your day. Somebody could put up a poem or a song that made your day. You say it's so beautiful. You contributed something to the world that made somebody smile, that blessed somebody's soul. And at the same time, it feels like the internet itself and social media do more bad than it does good. You can connect with a person that you would have never met in a country far, far off that you will probably never go to. And damn near become family or best friends. But at the same time, it becomes a place to show off the most, heinous crimes. A way to track people down. A way to rob people. A way to scam people. And also a way for black people to show the world the shit that we do to each other. I watched the video, and I hate watching any violent videos, anybody getting shot, anything. I don't want it in my spirit. Because we watched enough of that growing up. I watched the video of these people. I don't know what was going on, but it was a whole bunch of people on this block.
New text message
and
from
people
PJ.
Were moving around, and it was something going on, but it was like packed. You can see the block was packed. Next thing you know, you seen this car just come up the block and just hitting people. I mean, he had to hit dozens of people. And the guy that was holding the camera was laughing. The guy standing next to him was laughing. And it's like, what world do we live in that you as black people, and it was not but blacks out there as when he was panning around, you as black people to stand there and laugh when your sisters and brothers had just got hit by a car? What world are you in? I don't know what happened to Black Pride. I'm not talking about that group, all Black Lives Matter. We're not talking about all that garbage and stuff that went in through there and whatever happened in and there. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm talking about Black Pride I watched, you know how you watch documentaries and you see like the Black Panthers, how they was feeding the neighborhood and this and that, and how this person was doing this. And these was like grassroots that started from nothing, and they got together. They had solidarity. And I mean, you always had an infiltrator, because that's what they did to get into our groups, kill our leaders, to have that one coon to come in and ruin everything. I remember growing up, and the older women on the block, the elderly women, I remember it was one lady stayed like 2 houses down from us. And she would stop me. She said, "You come here." And I go up there, and she would get a bag, and she put oranges, and she'd be like, "My black baby." And she would put oranges and peppermints, and she would talk to me for a minute, and she'll say, "Well, all right, you go home and tell your mother I said hi, and tell her I didn't mean no harm by sending you down there, this and that. I just wanted to give you something. I love when I see you. You just be smiling and you always speak. I remember my grandmother's next door neighbor, Miss Hamilton. We called her mother. My grandmother called her mother. I called her Miss Hamilton. And I remember her husband before he passed. Her name was Miss Hamilton. And she said, I remember you used to say, hey, Hamp, hey, Hamp. My grandmother was telling me rather. She said, every time he'd be sitting out there, in there, he'd be rocking, smoking his pipe. And she said, you would come on the porch and be like, hey, Hamp. And he would wave back and speak. Later in years after he was gone, I used to go over to Miss Hamilton's house and she would say, well, can you take the trash out for me? Or could you do this? And she would do the same thing. I'm making a sweet potato pie. I want you to come over here and get you a piece. I made some homemade cookies. You come over here and get you a few of these cookies and come sit with me. Sometimes I would go over there and just chill. If, back then, and I know probably going now, like if you got out of school and your parents sent you to your grandmother's house, you go to Granny's after school. Granny wasn't home and she stepped out to go to the grocery store or whatever. I'll go next door to Miss Hamilton's and sit and wait. And we would talk. And you would use the yes ma'am, no ma'am. But it was the feeling of community. It was the feeling that you ain't my blood, but you my blood. You get what I'm saying? It was that feeling of you are safe here because we are all we got. Almost, I say 95 to 99% of the people kept their grass cut. It wasn't for what a white person gonna think. It wasn't for what, it was because they took pride in their neighborhood. They took pride in what they had. And a lot of these people came from down south and came up here with nothing. And they came up here, got jobs in these factories. They built neighborhoods. Where are we now? Where are we now? I heard a girl say on one internet little thing I was watching. She said, he stood up in front of a crowd of people, all black people, and said to the panel, I wish my parents would have never sacrificed as immigrants and came here from another country for a better life for us. Because they put so much pressure on me about going to college and doing this and how much they want better for me. And I would never put that type of pressure on my children. Can you imagine looking at your baby, holding your baby in your arms, and looking at your environment, and you looking around, you like, I don't want this for my child. And you think about you growing up and how you didn't have much to eat. You didn't get brand new clothing. You just was barely getting by. He said, this has to stop. This curse, a generational curse, just this poverty, I got to get out of it for my child. I don't want my child to ever have to deal with what I dealt with. You say, well, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to a place where I can make more money. I'm going to go to a place where there's promise of a better life and being able to provide better food, clothing, schools, everything. And then years later, you look back and you're like, wow, we were in a one room, a little bit bigger than a bathroom, with just a mattress on the floor, using the bathroom in a bucket. Now we're in America. And I feel like we live in a dream. I've given my daughter or my son everything they could possibly need. We got a 3-bedroom home. We not only got one refrigerator, we got another deep freezer in the basement. We got a nice sized backyard. Front yard's not that big, but you can sit on the porch and play with your friends. I did 80 hours last week, and my back hurt, my feet hurt. And you do this for years. And then you go to see your child walk across the stage, knowing that for them to be able to do that, how many hours you had to work, how many events that you had to miss because you had to do overtime, how you had to get a second job and a third job to make ends meet, and you still gonna have to do this until you die. For that child to slap you in the face and say, I wish you'd have never done it. We could have stayed in that bathroom size house. We could have bought another bucket, a new bucket, to use the bathroom in. Kind of reminds me like a song, I think it was the Clark Sister. Is my living in vain? Am I wasting my time? Will I make 99? Have you wasted your time going out your way, killing yourself, literally, slowly killing yourself for the betterment of your family and your children's children? To be told, I wish you would have never did that for me because you putting too much pressure on me. Pressure? You don't know what the hell pressure is. When I have my child, I'm not going to do that to my child. You out here doing it. Probably borrowing money for your parents, doing all this. And you talking about pressure. And all I keep saying, I'm like a person talking about when Jesus coming. When? But I ain't talking about Jesus right now. What I'm talking about is us. When? When are we going to get it together? When are we going to understand that we don't need nobody else? All we need is us. When? Give us some gold. We're around our necks. We okay. Give me some Louis Vuitton, some Gucci, some Prada. We okay. Please, any white man, make up a brand and I'll wear it. Please. Cartier, give us a couple of more styles of glasses. It can be the white, be the regular wood. We'll wear them. And anything that you give us we will wear it because wearing your name and supporting you makes us feel so much better. It makes us feel important. How did the lady say? You are kind. You are, oh Lord. And we the ones eating the shit pie. Making everybody rich. You get you a clothing line if you want to, and you black, they gonna laugh you out of the off the internet. Master P came out with them shoes. Man, I wish I don't care what a white man come up with. Whatever shoe it is, we gonna rock it. And then I'm thinking, like, almost a year, 2 years ago, I was watching Wadamaya, right? YouTube in Africa, one of the top YouTubers in Africa, from out of Ghana. He's at a shoe factory in Africa. A shoe factory where they're making their own shoes, gym shoes, running shoes. And the machinery, it was a whole factory and it was running. And the machinery wasn't the top of the line. I guarantee it wasn't the top of the line that Nike use and none of them other places, or even in the sweatshops they be running these, having these little kids in working or whatever. But they was moving. So when Kanye went through the thing he did with Adidas, I was like, dang, wouldn't it be something if Kanye went over to Ghana or wherever the shoe place was, I can't remember what African country it was, and partnered up with them to say, hey, this is what we're going to do here. I'm going to be able to triple your staff. Okay? And I'm going to pay y'all more than the minimum wage. And let's say the minimum wage over there is $2.70, $2.08. I'm going to double it or triple it. And then this is what we're going to do. I'm going to help you with your brand and increase production. And then you're going to help me in revert in however you want to put it. Y'all know what I mean. And hand in hand, you're going to help me with my brand. And we both win. We all win. And I create more jobs because I'm bringing the US dollar. Imagine that. Imagine when he told Sway, you don't have to answer, Sway. You don't have to answer, Sway. They had to come back and say, Sway, you got the answer. You had the answer, Sway. Imagine if he was open-minded enough at that moment to say, Sway, elaborate on that. Why you say that? Break that down for me. Okay, let's sit down and you prove to me, or you help me, show me what you're talking about. We're gonna dive off into it. I'm gonna give you the ins and the outs of why I say nah, and you give me the ins and outs of why you say yeah. But that's the black people problem. Don't nobody want to be an Indian. Everybody want to be a chief. Nobody wants to be a village person. Everybody want to be king. Then, you got all these people that come up and you'll hear a family, 18 members, whatever, they bought this land and they're going to build a whole community and this and that. And that disappears from black news. You don't hear about that no more. I ain't heard nobody. What, I'm not saying it ain't, but I haven't heard nothing, this and that. But imagine, just imagine here, use your imagination. I know black folks, we don't like to use our imagination. We want to keep it real and 100. But if you use your imagination, because we're gonna do something about this. We just listen, because anytime that there has been a black community built, and let it be known that it was being built for blacks, time and time again, they have destroyed it. Time and time again, they have shown you whatever we can do to stop your elevation, whatever we can do to stop you from being a symbol of guidance to what the black dollar can do, we're going to destroy it. In some cases, they have went and destroyed it 6 and 7 times over after the black folks just started over. But imagine if you could go back to a place where, let's see, where your ancestors was at. Before your ancestors was taken from there. And you could go back and build a community. Take your dollar. Well, $1, some places $1 is worth $12. Sometimes it shoot up to $13. Well, $1, some places $2,500. And quadruple what you're doing by investing. I had told a coworker about this. I'm like, that's where the money at. He's like, I don't see it. You don't make no sense. I was like, what you mean I don't make no sense? See, the conversion rate you trying to say, it ain't what you say. It ain't what you say it is. I said, why it's not? Conversion is conversion. No, because the way it is that when you take your money somewhere else, it's the same. How? And I'm trying to explain to him, if you go to Mexico and $1 is worth 19 pesos, and you live like you still got $1 and ball out, no, your money is not going to stretch. No, if you shopping at the tourist areas and you doing all that, no, your money ain't going to stretch. But if you live like the locals live, or let alone start your own community, you're going to be getting over. If you got the American currency coming in and the currency is worth more in whatever the country it is, you're going to be winning. As long as you do what you're supposed to and not go over there and lose focus of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm watching brothers over there now building. But he told me that don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. That don't make sense. I just went to Jamaica last month for the first time. How many resorts do you see over there? Everybody that go to Jamaica, 9 to 10, they staying on a resort. 9 times 10, they staying at a hotel. 9 times 10, they nowadays staying at Airbnbs. You go to Brazil, Airbnbs, hotels, all this. Anywhere you go to vacation, even within the United States, there are hotels, Airbnbs, rentals, hostels, wherever you want to stay. But I'm a fool because nobody goes to Africa. Don't nobody vacation in Africa. Okay. Bro, you gonna tell me that I wasn't just in Tanzania for 2 weeks last year. Stayed in 2 different hotels, was about to stay in 3. I stayed one that was mid, which I was off the beach, was beautiful. Then I stayed in the professional I stayed in the, we and the wife stayed in the upper scale professional type. It's called the Element. And it wasn't nothing but business people coming in and out of there. I don't just say that because that's what they look like. I say that because I was in the lobby, saw them conducting business. I saw them at the desk, you know, talking, and you could tell they was there for business. I saw them at lunchtime, breakfast, brunch, and they in there doing their thing. They handling business. And I'm trying to explain to him, there is money. And everybody, every color that says that Africa is trash, that Africa is a shithole country, that this and that, every last one of them is over there enjoying themselves in Africa. Every race you could think of, even the races that you think would not leave their country and would stay in their country, they are over in Africa making money. But not us. Not us. Indians, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, white, Spanish, you name it. They over in Africa making that money. But us, no, senora, not us. We don't want to go back home. I've never heard a Mexican say, I ain't from Mexico. I ain't going back there. I don't want to. The Mexicans that I know that work here, that still own land back in Mexico, they plan on retiring, going home, because they can take this this American dollar and go over there and stretch that boy over and back home and live better than how we living. With sun. Good weather. But who am I? I don't know nothing. I'm crazy. You want to go back to Africa. Man. We definitely need to get it together. I've been on here long enough ranting, y'all. I'm praying for us, Lord. Praying for us.